That's the speaker. Good afternoon. My name is Mauro Strione. I'm from Argentina. I have been here for the last 3 months. Let me tell you a little bit about a theory that I created a short while ago with some friends of mine when I used to work in a company such as this one, an as-driven organization. Warning, I'm going to see shit and ass many times. As-driven organizations. As the name says, these are organizations that, as far as I understand, are managed like that, as-driven. There will be many times that this will not be translatable. That's the translator's note, because he plays a lot with words. But images speak by itself. This is the organizational chart. Of course, the ones who are on top are more benefit, but the ones who are down on the line, of course, receive what the others are throwing at us. We have Saturday, Sunday, and then all of them is not Wednesday, but all of them suck except for weekends again. So it's not only Mondays that suck, it's our job. But we are not on our own. I'm sure that you might have had to work in this as-driven organization. Well, it's happened to me. This is a report of Gallup in 2014, and the survey in 100,000 people, 140 countries, and only 8% of people is engaged. The rest of it is just the same to them. And 15% of those are actively not committed. They want to make them fail. So how do we detect these as-driven organizations? There are some patterns that we might want to identify that are very easy. The first of all, things doesn't smell right. This is smell. The word on games here is oracle. Now it smells like oracle, and it also smells like us. The word is very similar between oracle and us in Spanish. We need enough experience in Fortrack. Sometimes the call for bits say. And when we go to the interview in these organizations, we have to look at their faces. And most probably they have us faces as well. They say the organizational culture is in the coffee machine, so be very careful. Another common practices in this organization is the time, because they sell time, buy time, pay time, or hours. So tell me how you are going to be measuring me, and I'll tell you how I will behave. This is kind of a jail or prison that we just let hours go by and we just accrue them. That's the way in which we work. The most hours we make here, the farthest up we will make it in this specific area. There's another one, the oracle, but in this case, the way decisions are made. Sometimes we ask external consultant, or our head that maybe 20 or 30 years ago hasn't read a book, and he makes decisions just like that. There are some books that are real books, such as leadership. And in Scrum, we have a scroll, but in ADOs, in as-driven organizations, we also have roles. When we get into these organizations, we think that things might be good, and we usually work so hard to try to make things work. But we understand after a while that things do not work like that, and they migrate to the next other two. One of them is the bootlickers. The bootlickers, when you try to be promoted like that, also, or the ones who do not do a thing. So you go to Facebook, then you go to Telegram, then you go to Twitter, and that's it. I ran out of time. Agility in the as-driven organization, because of course they could not be absent. They work with the Scrum, but not with one T, but two T's. There's also an iteration, but it's called shiteration. So that iteration lasts for 6 months. That's the maximum, of course, the team supports, and then we give it back. Or we use this Kanban as well. Caca is shit in Spanish. The whip is unlimited. We don't know why we have the all or done, because everything goes to whip. It never gets to done. Now, within this agility, I have this, just let's save my ass. That means not being me responsible and the other one is going to be held responsible, and to generate products that have lots of functionalities, lots of
Era ahí, era ahí, era ahí, era ahí, era ahí. Esto es como
this is like in Rome. You decide. So thumbs up and we continue. Thank you very much. So as I was saying, that the second value that we are practicing in this agility is product oracle. Of course, these are a lot of functionalities, but they're useless for the client.
opciones cuando nos enfrentamos.
So we have three options when we have this type of organizations in front of us. The first one is stop complaining. There's something good behind everything, and then there could be the benefits, vacations, something, right? Couldn't be that bad. The second option, and maybe the one that the reason why we have so many organizations is that we are still keeping it because we're comfortable, because we fear things, etc. So maybe the solution is just to live it and get something better. Or my path, I was not very lucky, but I tried to become an agent of change and to try to explain which is the other way, and that's the way in which we're doing it better. And if we decide to transform or become agent of change, there are three main challenges that we have to face. The first one is that we need to realize that we are in a moment in history where change is changing. That means that exponentially fast, vertiginous. We have to be very attentive to that. We have to incentivize innovation, and not sustainable, but the disruptive one, the one that makes us change rules. And the most important one is that we need to be concerned about people, because management is so important to just leave it in the hands of managers. And what we have to do as well when we talk about people is not only about the future, but also about getting organizations that are adapted to people, and they are going to be adapted to the future. Because in today's organizations, we need people that will deliver three main things: initiative, creativity, and passion. And this is only done if we create the right context. This cannot be bought. So, before it's too late, let's react. Thank you.
Por escuchar